One thing I've noticed about Azure Standard is that it changes how you think about your home. Instead of running out for one thing at a time, you start thinking about abundance. A well-stocked pantry, a thriving garden, meals shared with family. It's a different approach to living. Explore what Azure Standard has to offer at azurestandard.com and shop this month's Waves of Abundance deals. Azure Standard, family owned and operated. Shop today at azurestandard.com.
When was the last time you felt in control of your business finances? Expenses tracked, invoices sent, taxes ready. That's where Found comes in. Found brings your banking, bookkeeping, invoicing, and taxes together in one simple app. Manage expenses, invoice clients, send payments, and prep for tax time right where you bank. Join the hundreds of thousands who have already streamlined their finances with Found. Open a Found account for free at Found.com. That's Found.com. Found is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by Lead Bank, member FDIC.
Truth Seeking is recorded in front of a live, captive audience, and me and Jimmy have decided that between us, we will feed them once a week based on your Patreon subscriptions.
Let's have this week's Here's How. And this week, here's how to trick a woman into believing you once ran a petting zoo. Have a fake CV prepared on your computer or on Google Drive. That way, when you're talking to a lady and they don't believe you used to operate a petting zoo, you can show this CV that clearly states between 2004 and 2011 you were operating a petting zoo. Get scars tattooed on your leg and learn how to walk with a limp. When a woman asks you how you managed to earn your limp, you can tell her you weren't a proper farmer, it's not from the clutch of an old tractor. You can tell her that you got your legs damaged by a couple of sparring donkeys in your old petting zoo. Hang around in the car park of a vet's, and when you see someone with a dog, walk over and give it a bit of a fuss, like, hello. Then ask the owner what's wrong with it. When they explain to you the issues, make up some advice, say, I always found coconut oil was good for that with my pygmy goats when I used to have my petting zoo. I don't know if it'll work with your dog, but I can't see why it wouldn't. These guys in here are going to try and tell you all sorts before, telling you about the uses of coconut oil. Then be sure to be gone from the car park whilst they're in their appointment. Design a fake shirt and wear it every now and then. Something with some faded cartoon animals and the writing says something like Abbey Ridge Farm and Donkey Home. And if people question it, tell them you used to sell them at your gift shop and you've got fucking loads of them just sitting about from that petting zoo you had back when you lived in Dorset. When you know a woman that's getting a job, tell her you'd be happy to pretend to be a reference on a CV if she needs it, to, say that she volunteered at your petting zoo back in 2018. Host an event for a charity, and during the event, give a speech explaining how the charity's always meant so much to you, ever since you found out about them through an old staff member who you unfortunately lost to the appropriate disease. And from that moment on, tell them that you used to give donations to that charity and you used to run fundraisers for them at your old petting zoo. Post photographs of children riding small horses on your social media with love hearts in the caption. Women are bound to ask, who's that? Because they're nosy, and they're interested in your obvious paternal interests. Unless, you give off this weird vibe and the concern that the children aren't yours. If they are the former, tell them that you just miss making people happy with your horse shows at the petting zoo you used to have. And if the latter, if you think they're worried about the kids aren't yours, tell them that the love arts is for the horse, that you miss those horses and think it's a shame you had to give it all up, but you just don't want to talk about it. Anytime you adjust your glasses in the company of a lady, say you kind of miss wearing contact lenses, but wearing them hurts your soul. Because you had to wear them because for some reason when you'd wear glasses, your sheep used to run away from you. But since you had to close the petting zoo down, you don't have to worry about your sheep anymore. If you're on a date with a woman and you're enjoying a coffee together, comment on how good of a brew it is. After, obviously explaining it's not quite as good as that double drop blend that you've got at home. But tell her that it reminds you of the coffee that you used to stock at the cafe in your old petting zoo. If you're at the playground watching kids play and get talking to a woman, ask them if they can guess how much that soft impact tarmac stuff costs. Whatever they say, whatever their guess is, say, that's pretty much spot on that. I decided to use it for the paths in my petting zoo. I thought it'd make it look nice in photos and it'd be good if the kids fell over, but unfortunately I had to have it all ripped up when I got some pigs because apparently it's quite bad for the joints. Turns out as well, it's worthless second hand. And that's the end of this week's Here's How.
If you're enjoying this, mate, don't forget to give us a review and not on Apple if you can. Otherwise, send it to... If everybody who's listening sent it to a couple of mates, right? I might be able to get towards getting paid to make these for adverts and that. Otherwise, no worries if not. There's people giving money on the Patreon, which is a link to that in the below as well. The money from that goes towards hosting this and hosting Truth Seeking. Give Truth Seeking a listen as well. There'll be a link to that below possibly. Otherwise, just have a look in my Linktree link. Thanks for listening, man. If you enjoyed the show, give it a share online, share it in your Instagram stories from Spotify, send it to a mate, talk about it on social media, tweet me, mate, tweet me. When I get 2,000 followers on Twitter, I'll be doing a taxidermy giveaway, so, that's something for you, innit? That's a little something. At World Around You, same as the name of the show. I'll see you in a bit, mate.
S&G Carpet & More has flooring choices built for the whole pack. Save 25% on select flooring through August 31st. Visit sgcarpet.com today.
S&G, more than